WMX here in Madeira. How do you even talk about that race? What was it like to experience racing that?
Probably my worst race ever, to be honest. Yesterday I was 4th into the first corner, and then I come back from last to 11th in 2 laps. So amazing riding. I felt really good with the track. I was enjoying it, even though it was really wet. And then we got red flags, that was cancelled. And then this morning we just had the one race, and yeah, I was in about 11th, I think, just plugging away, like trying to catch up with people in front of me, and yeah, came off the track straight into a rain rut, and that was pretty much it for my race. So we come here, got nothing out of it, but could have gone either way. So yeah.
I don't think you're the only one. How did you find just racing those conditions? Have you ever raced anything like that before?
I've definitely raced stuff like it in England, like on the 85 and stuff like that.
But even with the hills and stuff was steep?
No, never as intense as an extreme as that. But at the end of the day, it's a learning curve. You never know, you might really need to do well for the championship one year. So on a track like this, you can't complain. You just got to get on with it. It's the same for everyone, so no excuses.
And obviously last year you got an eye-opener in the WMX by racing Arnhem, I think on the 125. What was that like, just to make your WMX debut there?
Yeah, the debut was great. 13th, which was amazing. We didn't realise how good at the time until we came up this year, but yeah, the class is unbelievably fast. Obviously I'm still getting used to 250. Yeah, it's definitely a big step up from anything in England, but I'm enjoying the learning and gaining experience.
And just on this year, how do you think it's all going in your first full season, your rookie season?
Not as well as I would have hoped, expected, but that's racing. Like, the competition level is really high, and we can all see my improvements, even if I'm not finishing in them results I've been running up there. So I'm happy with how things are going, and I want to keep building it up to get to the top eventually. And
what's it like just being part of this paddock? I mean, you're in the same paddock as the best riders in the world, and WMX I feel like is rising. I think Lottie is definitely helping, and Gwilon's helping grow the sport, and that's good. Hopefully you can be the next one.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's the fastest it's ever been for the girls. The level's just improving every year. It brings all the riders on, so it's amazing. It's so good to be here with like the best riders in the world and watch them and learn. So every weekend we learn something, so that's what it's all about.
And how are you finding the tracks? Obviously it's so different. One week you're racing deep sand, the next week it's hard pack, then mud the next week. It's so different, probably something you haven't really experienced in England.
Yeah, the tracks in England are nothing compared to this. If you want to practice properly for this, you need to be in Europe. I'm not practicing over here yet, we're still based in the UK, but we'll see what we can do in the future. The tracks are so it's like English tracks on steroids, like so much deeper, so much rougher, wetter, dry. It's just everything you can imagine thrown into a full season of racing.
And obviously, like, you can't really prepare for WMX in England. I mean, what did you do, like, when you were 14, 15 for racing?
I was Relay 5 and then obviously 125, so I did the British with the boys and the 125. I've always raced with the boys my whole life in England. I've never actually properly raced with girls, so it was really good on the 125 to come over, do the Europeans, do that one race in Arnhem, and really get the hang of it and see what all these girls are about.
Yeah, I know I did see your name in the results in the Europeans last year. Was that your first year doing those, and what was it like racing there? Yeah. Obviously they were probably in the middle of nowhere, but it was good for the experience.
Yeah, it was a brilliant experience. We're doing it again this year actually. Yeah. I'm leading the championship this year. We didn't expect to win last year, but we did, so I worked hard and that showed, especially in that championship. And even at Arnhem, my hard work paid off, so yeah, we'll hopefully that my hard work can pay off this year and we can end the season on a high for the next few rounds.
And you're working closely with Brian Jorgensen, obviously a former GP rider, probably before your time, maybe you don't really remember him, but what's it like having him in your corner and working with him?
Yeah, Brian's definitely, I can't explain how much he helps us. He's so switched on. Having him here at the races is such a good help for me and James. I really enjoy working with him in the winter, fitness, on the track, off the track, and it's just that perfect balance. We can have a joke with him and then we have the serious side, so it's really nice.
Yeah, I was going to mention your brother too. Obviously he races sometimes the same weekend as you with the GMX 250. What's it like having him with you?
Yeah, unfortunately he's got quite a bad injury at the minute, but he's recovering now. it's really nice to have him here, the full family. It's quite chaotic, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
And goals for the future? What's the big dream? To stand on top of that podium?
Obviously to be the best in the world is the goal. I know it's going to take a lot, but we're just going to keep working. And just turned 17 last week, so just keep gaining experience and hopefully move up through the rankings until at the top.
And what's it like being in privateer life? Obviously it must be difficult for the parents. Is hopefully get a team in the next year or two? Is that the goal?
That would be nice, but I also do know that teams are not the be all and end all sometimes. My setup is incredible. I've got my mum who does literally everything for me, my lunch, just everything you can imagine. And then my dad on the bike, spot on. Our setup's really nice. Obviously it's a bit muddy sometimes and the travelling can get pretty boring, but we do our best, and I wouldn't rather do it for anyone else.
Perfect, thanks for your time.